Hi everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to Pitch Practice. Hi everyone. Okay, hello. I'm Caroline and I'm very happy to see some faces today. So, just a little bit of housekeeping on how this is going to run. Today, we're going to have 20 people in the hot seat. You're going to have 1 minute to pitch. It will be timed. And if you start to go over, I'm going to raise my hand and say, okay, that's time to wrap it up. And then you get 2 minutes of feedback. Then after that, we are going to make sure we're moving on swiftly. And so I want you all to take the opportunity to really think about when I'm giving feedback, what does this mean to me? So I'd really encourage you to grab a pen and paper, to start taking notes and think about how can I apply these lessons to what I'm doing. And so I want you all to walk away with extra confidence, extra clarity on how you're going to pitch and how your style is and how you're going to be memorable. So when you're speaking to those investors, they're completely clear on your ask and it's a hell yes from them that they want to invest in you. So I'm going to just make sure let everybody in. We've got a few latecomers, so let's get everyone in the room. For any of you who haven't met me before, my name's Caroline. I'm the founder of Vinshitter. I have been in love with pitching for a very long time. I've been a growth strategist and I'm working with everything from startups to globally connected agencies, helping them to win millions in new business and absolutely helping them get the investment they need to secure their future. And I'm doing the same for you. So I want all of you to walk away loving pitching just as much as me. I want you to ask me questions. I want to make sure that you feel like anything can be said in these sessions so that you're really ready for demo day. I have got a bit of an order on the go. I'm going to call you up, just come off mute and then come on up to the floor. If by the end, for any reason, I haven't called your name and I should have, please raise your hand and let me know and I will come to you. So without further ado, let's crack on with the show and let's see who I've got first on the list. So if I have with me in the room Melissa, you are first up on my list. If they haven't got Melissa, I'm just going to keep going through names until we get to the right person. So I think I can see Melissa in the room. So Melissa, can you hear me and can you come off mute and start speaking?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there
Hello.
she is. Hi, Melissa. Great. Okay, well, let me say, I'm going to put you on a stopwatch. You've got 1 minute. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Okay. Imagine that you have just moved to London. You don't know anyone, but you're keen to explore the city and meet new friends, make new friends and meet new people. Then you meet me and I give you a key. And suddenly you're attending a Viennese ball at the Austrian embassy, sipping champagne at your favorite restaurant, or dancing a black tie at a private members club. That was me before I started The Modernist. At The Modernist, we are unlocking inspiring places, people, and communities. Think of us as ClassPass, but for lifestyle. Today, 66% of millennials and 72% of Gen Zs crave new experiences, but fragmented offerings and the high cost of multiple memberships make that very hard. We solve that with one membership in the form of a digital key that unlocks members clubs, wellness clubs, co-working spaces, and cultural events. We've launched our MVP web app, scaled to 500 plus paying customers, 1,000 in our community, and to secure top tier venue partnerships. Now we're raising to grow faster, scale our tech, and grow outside of just London. So join us in shaping the future of lifestyle.
That's it.
Is
Okay,
that
and well
it?
done, Melissa. You did a
Woo!
little bit over there, about 7 seconds. So we do need to tighten up that pitch and get it a bit shorter, but you did a great job. Your pace was lovely. You were really clear in the way you spoke. I could understand everything you said. You had memorable points because you helped us visualize. You painted a great picture for us. You then talked about your point of the story, like, why have I decided to do this? And then you really went into kind of the traction and the credibility that you've got there already, which were great on your numbers. And when we got to the end, I had to rush you on a bit. And so there was your ask that I feel that you could tighten up. So let's just review. There's three areas that you could work on in your pitch because you're very clear about your origin story and you're very clear about your ask. But there's something missing in between. You're talking about your traction, which is great. And I really want to encourage you to keep doing that. But there's also a little bit more, I think, that you could add to it. From looking at your demo side of things, you had on your demo day, first application, you talked about how you bootstrapped yourself. That's so important to hear from investors. The fact that you backed yourself, you put in 19K, you've demonstrated clear market demand. These kind of words are really good. And I felt like you lost some of that in this particular pitch. So just go back to pulling out those points and maybe you can reduce the start. Although you're great at visualizing and painting a picture, it's maybe with your 1 minute pitch, you could shorten that down to give yourself a bit more time for that credibility and those numbers that are really going to light up and get those investors to lean in. Does that make sense? And is there anything you'd like to check with me, Melissa?
No, that makes sense. Thank you so much. It's been really fun.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad. Good luck on demo day. That's great. Have we got Margaret in the room? Margaret, are you with us? If you are, come on onto the mic. If not, have we got Alexander Nowler? Is Alex with us? If Alex is, come up to the floor. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going through the names because I can't see all of you on my screen. So, is Callum in the room? If Callum is in the room, come on up.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Okay, Callum, let me just stop the clock. So I'm going to reset. The stage is yours. You've got 1 minute. Go for it.
Great. Hi, I'm Callum, co-founder of Reno, and we're here to digitize home renovation for energy efficient homes that we can be proud of. My co-founder Penny and I have been building digital products and services together for 12 years and bonded over how difficult it's been renovating our homes, so decided to do something about it. We're solving two main problems. The first is the state of home renovation today, where homeowners go thousands over budget. The relationship with trades breaks down into tiers. Timelines run over, profits are squeezed, and those architects' plans just don't go far enough to communicate what you want where. The second problem is the state of our homes in terms of energy efficiency standard being well below government targets. Our solution is a digital platform where you can plan and manage renovation projects, where the best choices for you and the environment are the defaults. Homeowners pay yearly, trades and retails pay monthly subscriptions, and our MVP has some decent traction with 450 people having paid, a CAC to LTV of 1 to 5, and a 40% month-to-month growth rate.
Okay, that's
Oh, was
great.
that the S?
I thought you could keep going. There was a bit more on the clock, but okay. All right.
Oh,
What I would
damn.
say, Callum, is you had a few more seconds there that you could have kept going.
Mm-hmm.
But it really, you did a good job. Again, your pace was good. You were very clear on the pain and the problem and how you're coming in to solve it. I like the fact you had an origin story in there. Like, we suffered this. We said this got to be better. That
Yeah.
was really good. You also went into good numbers on your metrics and your traction. So again, well done on that. Where I feel like you probably could have done a little bit more is I know that again from your demo day application, I think you said you had 40% growth. Was that right, Callum? That
Yeah, month to month. Yeah.
yeah. So I think just make that shout out a bit more. I felt like I lost that a little bit in terms of your
Okay.
pitch. So just help that stand out a bit more. And also, I think it's where it becomes to be really memorable. It's about the name of your business. I don't think that for me really stuck out. I know that you're talking about renovation and I know that renovate is in your name. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
really pull that out a bit more to help you be a bit more memorable. And the final thing, and I think this is the part that probably is the big part for strengthening up, is your ask. How much money are you asking for, and what are you going to be doing with that money? So
Yeah.
you can tighten up those other pieces and then
So I
really
can
give
squeeze
yourself
the ask at the
time.
end. Yeah.
Give that some time at the end. Yeah. So you really make sure you get that in. Are you clear on what you need to do moving forward? Have you got any questions for me?
No, all good. Unless you know the answers to like, are we meant to be uploading a pitch deck somewhere? There's a lot of
Okay, all those
WhatsApp
questions are for
messaging.
Facilier, not in this session, but
Fine. Okay.
absolutely, you go and ask him, and just because I got to keep on going with the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Callum. That's awesome. All right, is Alexander in the room? If Alexander's in the room, come on up. If not, I'm going to keep going on some of these other lists. Is Ben in the room? Do we have Ben? If you are, come on up. The floor is yours. If not, do we have
Yeah, hello, you've got a Ben.
Ben? Hey, Ben. Okay, great. I can
Don't
hear
know if
you.
it's the right Ben you're looking for, but
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've got Ben Manser. Is that right? Is
yeah,
that you?
yeah,
Cool. All right. So, Ben, the floor is yours. The clock starts now. Take it away.
yeah. So I'll start with a question. If ChatGPT could trade for you, would you use it? And if the answer is yes, then you should be taking a closer look at our products, which is Arrow Algo. Arrow is a software that allows users to build, backtest, and run automated trading strategies just by talking to a bot. We launched our MVP about a year ago. We've got about 400 registered users at the moment. We're integrated in about 6 different exchanges at the moment. We've got some exciting partnerships negotiated with these exchanges, revenue sharing with a couple of them. We've bootstrapped this business up until now, launching the MVP about a year ago. We're here at the pitching event, not necessarily asking for money, but asking, really for connections, advice. Anybody that's interested in learning more, more than happy to have discussions. The nice thing about the position we're in at the moment is that we can afford to be a bit picky about, we're already revenue generating, so we're not desperate for cash. But if anybody's interested in talking to us, then absolutely.
Okay, Ben, that's it for your time. I think you have such an interesting pitch. Like, okay, lots of things to feed back on there. So number one,
Yeah.
great hook to come on and get everybody interested and sit up and listen and ask them quite a thought-provoking question. Would they or wouldn't they? I think it's almost not time for them to answer that question. But I think you said if there's a possibility, then you should be looking closer at what we're doing. So I really
Yeah.
love that segue. I also thought you did really well at sort of painting the picture about how well it's doing. The
Yeah.
fact that you're not asking for money is another interesting one to sort of help you be memorable because most people are here and asking for money. So,
Yeah.
what I would say is be more specific. What are you asking for? When you're
Yeah.
saying connections, what kind of connections? Like you're here, you're making the effort, you're taking the stage. I mean, is this just a marketing gig for you or is it actually something you want to get out of it? So, be really clear on that ask. What is
Yeah.
it you want to get out? And if you know that there's an investor in the room that you specifically want to talk to, call them out. I mean, why not? Like make someone feel special. That could work well for you. So
Yeah.
I would really just encourage you to even though you're not asking for money, you are asking for something. Make sure you're giving it everything.
Yeah.
One of the two things that stood out for me in your previous demo day pitch was your Xcoots and also the Y Combinator mix as well, in terms
Yeah.
of the journey you've been on. So I felt they were left out on this particular one. It's your choice whether you bring that in, but I did feel like that made you memorable last time. This time, I think you let the numbers speak and you definitely let some of those thought-provoking, like sweet spots of I'm a bit different hang out. So really
Yeah.
well. Any questions you've got for me at this point?
No, that's very helpful feedback. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for taking the stage. All right, let's have the next one up. Do we have Andre in the audience? If you are in, Andre Nagy, please come on up. If not, I'm going to keep moving
Yep.
on swiftly. Hey, all right, Andre, got you. Okay, let me
I'm good.
just start the clock. Okay, you've got
Perfect.
1 minute. The stage is yours.
Hello,
Go
all.
for it.
My name is Andre. In 2019, I wanted to attend Ice Hockey World Championship finals. However, at the time, all of the tickets were already sold out. So my only option was to buy really expensive tickets through secondary ticketing platform. As a big fan, I still bought those tickets. I went to the stadium. However, I found out that those tickets were fake. And because of this negative experience, I later founded Upfen. Upfen is a ticketing platform that completely eliminates ticket fraud and touting, whilst providing event organizers with new income stream from a secondary ticketing market and full control over the both primary and secondary markets. Since starting Upfen in June 2024, we already onboarded 5 paying clients from Slovakia, Czech Republic, and also Dubai. Among those organizers are football clubs, ice hockey clubs, music festival, and a business conference organizer. We are in talks currently with football clubs from UK and close to signing futures contract with the most successful ice hockey club from Czech Republic. And we are currently fundraising our pre-seed, which will help us scale up our operations and hopefully also sign new clients. Thank you.
Okay, you were 58 seconds there. You had good timing. You're really clear actually on the pain you solve, like the fact you've suffered this pain as well. You've been a victim of the fraud, and like, okay, that made you start to build this business. Upfan, although it's a short, should be easy to remember name, the pace of your speech and your pitch lost it a little bit for me. I didn't quite catch the name. So I would really encourage you, because you have those couple seconds left, slow down, like all of it, just slow it right down so that people can really hear the very significant words that are important, which is your name, the name of your company, and very importantly, the last thing that I felt was missing was your ask. I'm not sure what you're up and pitching for. How much do you want? What are you looking for? And what are you going to do with that? So work on that. So because you need to reduce your pitch to allow for that ask, find a way to summarize some of those great partnerships and some of that breadth of traction that you've had so far, because you've done a lot. You've got some good names in there. I know the fact that you have strong market validation, I think you could almost say that, sign 3 major event organizers, including 2 music festivals. If there is a big name drop it, but you don't need to go in every single individual because that's taking up too much of your minute, if that makes sense.
Yep, of course.
Any questions for me at this stage?
No, I think this was clear. Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Really well done. Thanks for taking the floor. Let's move on to our next. Do we have Olivia in the audience? Is Olivia with us?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Olivia, great. All right, I'm going to just reset my clock and you have 1 minute. Take the stage. It's yours.
Imagine a world where you could shop for clothes based specifically on what your wardrobe is missing and matches your style. Online personalization is not personal, and it's killing retailers' unit economics. Currently, this consists of showing you more of the same items you've just bought, or worse, completely irrelevant items due to limited customer data. I'm Liv, and I'm the founder and CEO of Percy, an AI personal wardrobe builder that helps e-commerce retailers deliver highly personalized product recommendations based on a customer's existing wardrobe and style preferences, driving conversion rates and reducing returns. We've launched both a consumer MVP with over 40 paying customers and a B2B pilot with one of the largest fashion rental platforms to prove our assumptions. Today, we're raising £650,000 to build Percy's integrated solution and launch with 5 small retailers by the end of the year. We have 2 term sheets with 2 leads and have 55k of EIS remaining. So why not join us on making online shopping more personal, more convenient, and more fun?
Great job. Okay, that's amazing, Liv. Well done. I think so many good things to feed back on there. That was a bit of a masterclass. You spoke at a really good pace. You were really clear on who you are and what you do. Your ability to show like how much traction you've got, where you're going, very clear ask in what you needed, and an invitation for them to get involved. That was really great. I think that you've sort of jotted enough seeds to be kind of get them to get into conversation with you and have questions. So I think my advice for you at this point would be to prepare yourself for the kind of questions that those investors are going to ask you so that you're ready. But I think you did a really good job there. I'm trying to see if there's anything in my notes the way you missed anything or didn't bring anything in, but I think you packed it in and you made it really concise. I could tell you were practiced and rehearsed. So I think it's a really good job. Was there anything you've got as in terms of a question or anything as a doubt in your mind going into demo day?
I don't think so. I think it was more, could I fit any more in? But I think, like you said, I've obviously done enough to answer like or bring up questions. So I think it's all good. Thanks, Caroline.
Exactly. Yeah, really good job. Well done, Olivia. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next. So, do we have Jordan in the room? If Jordan's in the room, come on up to the stage. If he's not here yet, have we got Anita? Anita, are you there? Come off mute if you guys are.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Okay, super, Anita. Right, let me just reset the clock and the floor is yours. Go for it.
Studying is broken, we are fixing it. I'm Anita, founder of StudyPod. Imagine you're a student juggling 20 plus exam across different subjects and deadlines. How do you prep your revision? How do you keep on track? Yes, it's painful. Turns out 75% students feel the same. They can't structure their learning, hence they are stressed and unmotivated. Why? Because schools teach what to study, not how. They ignore individual learning styles. And there are tools, but mostly content libraries. Students do not need another library. What they need is a structure. This is why we built StudyPod. StudyPod is a structured revision platform that keeps you on track. When we are not just an idea, we are living product. We are existing over 2 years self-funded. We have 50k registered users, 6k monthly active, 4 million revision cards created, and over 1k paying users. EdTech is booming. We are competing with Quizlet, valued at 1 billion.
Anita, that's good. You're up to time though.
Yeah.
Okay, you did really well. But I know you had more to say, but I'm going to just pause you there because we're going to keep you to time. So know that, yeah, bit of work to shorten that. But I think you came in, your pace was good. So you don't want to speed up your speaking. If you do that, it's going to be too rushed and it's going to be more difficult to memorize. I think you did really well at sort of explaining the market that you're in, like the where you're wanting to disrupt, but potentially you labored a bit too much on what's happening in schools or like what kind of the state of schools. And that could be argued. There are advancements that you don't want anything where people feel like they're going to debate whether you're right or you're wrong. You want to get into sort of like key facts, big numbers, and then really talk about you as a founder. Why should they trust you to do this? So I know that you've got a finance background from what you said before in your demo day presentation. So I would really steer you away from talking too much about the market in a broad sense and be more focused on how do you capitalize on that market? Why you right now? What is it that's really helped you to know that this is perfect timing for you? And then what is it that's going to show that traction, show that credibility, and then your ask? So focus on those areas. So if you're going to take that away, what are the 3 things you're going to work on to help pull this together?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
That's okay. What will you work on, Anita? What are the 3 things you're going to focus on from
Yeah, I think my beginning, I felt that this is way too long and I am dragging a little bit over the problem instead of just right into the study pod. I already picture, the learning is hard, juggling, la la la. So now I need to immediately say what we do, what we solve, and basically like nicely close up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got it. All right, Anita, good luck with that. Go
All
have
right,
another. We
thanks.
have got another pitch practice next Friday. Come along to it. Let's see how you're
Okay, yeah, thank
developing.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next on my list, have we got Libby in the room? Libby, are you here? If you are, come up to the stage.
Hi, yes,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Perfect. Okay, Libby, I'm just going to reset my clock. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Hi everyone, I'm Libby, the founder of Overcare. We're on a mission to make sure no girl starts her first period feeling confused, scared, or alone. Right now, 1 in 7 girls don't know what a period is when they first start their period. 81% of teens want more period education, and Over's here to help. We have built the OVE app for girls aged 8 to 17, offering education and support made to be age appropriate. We're working with over 15 schools and have over 5,000 downloads with a 52% monthly active user rate. We're available on both Android and iOS stores and have also launched our period starter kits designed to help girls try a range of period products to find out what works best for their bodies. We're now looking to raise 250,000 with EIS available to scale our partnerships, grow our user base, and enhance our AI features to build a subscription into the app and personalize learning even more. If you want to be part of the movement that supports girls from stage 1, let's chat.
All right. Awesome on timing. You were 58 seconds there, Libby. You did really well. So what I would say to you is that you had a good pace. You spoke clearly. You were really good at sort of coming in and sort of helping people understand, like, it's femtech, it's helping people with their periods. You're talking about your traction. I think that was really good. I think there was probably an opportunity for you to call out some of that traction in a more memorable way. So one of the things, again, from your demo day video that I recalled, and actually from your sort of traction writing on your application, was that you managed to get 10 minutes of engagement on TikTok. I mean, who stays on TikTok for 10 whole minutes? For me, that was kind of a wow moment. So anything that makes people lean in and go, wow, you're really talking the talk, you're walking the walk, and people are engaging and they're interested, is a really strong sign. When it comes to your ask, you were clear on the amount that you want, but what are you going to do with that? And what is the way you're going to spend it? Kind of cover that off with a couple of key things that are really going to excite them about accelerating that traction. Is there a point about how you're going to make money with this, like in terms of the revenue part? That's I'm not so clear on right now. So maybe that could be something to look at. I think it could help just strengthen up your pitch a bit more. So having to get that ask right means you're going to have to condense the other points. So it's almost like pick out the wow factor pieces to get people to lean in for your traction.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, you're very welcome. All right, let's next up to the floor. Do we have Carolina in the room? Carolina, come up if you are. If not, have we got Igor? Is Igor with us? If you're with us, Igor, come on up to the floor. I'm going to keep going through names until I get someone to say hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Hey,
here.
okay, Igor, fantastic. All
Sorry,
right, no
sorry,
problem.
I just mixed up
Don't
the
worry.
buttons and
You're here
everything.
now and I can hear you. All right, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Would you like to monetize word of mouth and get rewarded just for referring a friend to your favorite restaurant? I am Igor, co-founder of YotaPay, the growth engine for B2C brands. We are all-in-one platform that helps merchants increase customer value and profitability, combining payments, loyalty, referrals, affiliate marketing, and CRM across both in-store and online channels. We create value for everyone. Merchants double their customer lifetime value and save from 6 to 12% in net margin. Consumers get up to 30% cashback, earn rewards for sharing, and manage everything in a single loyalty wallet. We've already onboarded over 1,000 merchants and raised more than 1 million. Now we are raising under EIS to scale. YotaPay turns every transaction into long-term growth. Let's
Okay,
build this
we're there.
together.
You're on time, I'm afraid, Igor. Okay, so a few things to pick up. Obviously, the timing.
Yeah.
But I would also say that you did a good job at presenting the traction and how far you're going, the investment that you've made so far. That was really powerful in your pitch. What I would say is that it's a bit about pace. It's trying to get the way you speak to either sort of like quieten down and lift up your voice, like try and get people to stay with you. When it's all monotone and it stays on one track, it sort of loses its punch and kind of when you hit us with one of those big stats. So either practice a little bit more in terms of memorability. You were listing off about 5 or 6 features of your product, which is hard for you to remember. And also, is that really going to stick in the investor's mind? So try and find ways to pack things in more succinct ways that are easy for you to remember so you can rehearse your pitch and you're doing it completely revised. And then also give yourself time to pause. Like you drop in a big number, like the million already secured. Let that land, then move into, and we've got the next piece of the big fact that you want to share. So what we're asking for, be really clear on that and give that time to sink in so that the investors can get excited about saying yes to you and be writing down their questions about what they want to know when you have later conversations. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah. How late was I?
I left the clock running, but I mean, I don't know how much more you had to go when I pulled you up there,
No,
but I sort of
I
pulled you
was
up.
done.
Well, you were done? Okay.
Yes.
Well, you kind of went over by about 3 seconds. So you probably want to shave off about 5 seconds just to get that.
So maybe I will cut about one line or something.
Yeah,
Just
but really make sure that that's rehearsed and you
okay.
know it by
Yeah,
heart.
I know about the intonations, about
Yeah.
getting my voice. I mean, I am from a different background. I mean, I can master as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even
so,
then you
but
go, I can do it
I
as
will
much as I
try.
can, like be expressive. You can do it. You can do it. So, and then and take the power of the pause then. I know it's difficult in another language. I can't even imagine trying to do this in Italian. So I salute you, but like you go for it. You're doing well. All right.
All
So
right, thank you.
next up, you're welcome. Next up to the stage, do we have Varun? Is Varun with us? If you are,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, I
great.
am there.
Okay, let me reset the clock. I can't see you. I'm not sure, Varun. Just make sure you come up okay. There we are. Yeah,
Okay,
I've
yeah,
got
now,
you.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, awesome. So let's reset. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Cool. Okay. Did you know that like in UK, around 89 billion worth of assets are lying dormant? The reason? The families are not sharing that information within the family, and because it just like one person ends up managing all the finances. My dad was one of them when I lost him at the age of 14. We went through that massive pain of managing finances, and it took us years to get the pieces together. To solve that problem, we created Know Your Dosh. I'm Varun Agarwal, founder of Know Your Dosh, and we have built a multi-level encrypted platform which which helps families to track all the finances in one single platform. We have already tracking 60 million worth of assets from users across more than 23 countries. We are raising 400,000 pounds, like out of which we have already secured 350, and this is the last opportunity to get 50,000, like to close the round, right? So help us to join this journey and be a part of like our journey. Sorry.
You did great. And you still got a whole 5 seconds to go. So
Okay.
don't worry. You were doing really good. You were great on time. If anything, it was a little bit faster at the beginning. That's what I would say to you.
Okay.
You were rattling through because I think you were conscious, am I going to make my minute? And you had time. So
Okay.
you've got time in that pitch. So slow it down a little bit. You talk about a really raw and personal story there. And it's almost because of your speed, you move past it too quickly.
Okay.
So let that land. That's big. That's heavy. And, you're being open and vulnerable sharing that. And you're really purpose driven because of it. So talk about that and then give time. I had in your my notes you were tracking 55 million worth of assets. Now you're up to 60 million. So I'm seeing like quite rapid progression. So perhaps that's something you could highlight. And you're really wanting to. I love that way you phrase that. We were looking for this much. We've already got most of it. We only got 50 million left. 50,000 left. So get in now. I think you did that really well. Making this like this is an opportunity. You haven't got long. But if anything, if you could really just give that story some weight by giving it the pacing. I think that will really help you because you've got all the ingredients there. It was just the speed of your delivery that just needs to slow down. So perhaps you could even shave off a bit at the beginning to allow those really key points to come through. So your personal story, your purpose and mission behind this, the great traction you've made, and your great ask at the end.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well done. Thanks for coming up. All right. Have we got Stephen in the room? Steve Parkin, are you with us? If Steve is, come on up. If not, do we have Manny? Is Manny in the room? If not, I'm going to keep rolling through. Adamola?
Manny's there. Manny's there. He just
Manny's
can't
there.
unmute.
Thanks,
I have a million
Kiara.
tabs open. I had to scroll back.
on back to us. Okay,
I'm
let
like,
me
no, I have to get back to this one.
Right, Manny, we've got you. Let's go for it. Go, take it away.
At Bren, we see teams facing real challenges and huge hidden costs every year. Misalignment, disengagement, and losing up to 1 in 3 employees. The workplace has evolved, but team building hasn't. The brain-to-brain intelligence fixes this from the inside out. BBI isn't another HR tool, it's an intelligence layer that deeply understands how your teams think, collaborate, and communicate. Co-developed with neuroscientists, BBI utilizes psychometrics to create cognitively aligned, high-performing teams, guiding team members with real-time insights via APIs of the tools they're already using. BBI already leads to 35% increases in productivity, 250% increases in engagement, and 80% increases in engagement in retention. We've already raised 50 out of our 300K target, successfully piloted BBI, and we're launching this June. Let's finally make teamwork work with BBI by Bren. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I wasn't. Yeah, well done on hitting your time. You did really well on that, Manny. I would say you've definitely rehearsed and practiced your pitch. Could use a little more tightening up in places. Your pace was good. You're definitely sharing kind of the work that you're doing and the journey you're going on, which is great. But perhaps there's still a bit more that you could do to just help you be more memorable. So I'm going to ask you, what are the 3 things you want people to take away from your pitch?
That BBI is a pretty unique tool in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, Manny, you're gonna have to work on that. So, all right, it's a unique tool. Let's find out what that uniqueness is, and tell me what's the other 2 things.
Okay, so it really makes a difference to how people work, and it's one of these things where you really have to see it to make a difference. I mean, it's the reason why I put it on the QR code on the back of our slide as well, to show about what the product actually is.
Okay,
it's something which is quite
don't
seamless.
worry about the fact that you feel you need to see it. The investors don't need to fully understand it, and don't feel like you're trying to get them to understand the whole thing. They want to understand you as a founder. So why you and why now? That's really important. So the fact that you are perfectly positioned to do this, the time is now, and there's the opportunity, you're already seeing it and you're already getting that traction. So the uniqueness is key. So really circle that around why you're uniquely positioned for this product to be right now. That would be really strong. What was the 3rd thing you want to get across?
I guess that we're also something which that seamlessly integrates into people's tools. I don't know. I like to talk about our products in a way
You're going
that
too far into the product there, Manny. You're right. You felt your gut was right. I could see you like, I want to talk about that. Is that what I want to hear? You're right. Trust your instincts on that. Get more to why this is the right time to invest. The time is now. Focus on that. And I think you're really going to tighten up that pitch. Is that okay for you to move forward?
That's good.
All right, good stuff. Thank you so much for coming up, Manny. Have I still got Liv in the room? I'm so sorry, Liv. I missed your message. I think you might have dropped off to go get the kids. Apologies for missing out. Hopefully you get this recording. Have we got Abdamela? Is Abdamola with us?
That should be me.
Yeah, that's you. Okay, let me reset the clock. Go for it. Floor's yours.
When anyone moves to a new country or a new city, sometimes your survival depends on the level of information and access to local resources that you have. I faced the same thing moving to the UK, and over 300 people that I surveyed had the same problem. So we built Nextboard, a solution that helps newcomers, immigrants, and international students navigate and thrive better in a new city. We are using the power of AI to ensure that these resources are personalized to their interests, their background, and their interests. So we are entering a market of over $6 billion, and we believe we can beat one of the biggest players in this market, the Nextdoor app, because we ensure that our app is culturally sensitive and personalized. We launched the bootstrapped MVP just 4 months ago, and we have close to 8,000 users, and we've made over £4,000 in revenue. We believe we can grow faster, we can build faster if we get a lot more money. So come in, send us money, we would accept it. We're raising about £150,000 to scale the app and double effort on marketing. Thank you. Whew.
You did really well at keeping it to time there. So congrats for that. But there was perhaps a little bit of rushing because at that beginning, because you're so conscious about getting it into that minute. So what I would say to you is reduce it down, have less to say and make it more memorable. You have a really fantastic story. I remember listening to your demo day. It stuck out to me when I was thinking your first application, because you talked about the fact that the time that you've launched in just 1 month, how much traction that you managed to achieve. So really think about, that it's your first version, that you're getting to the second version. Yes, of course, you want to have lots of money. That would be great. Who doesn't want money? But maybe that's just a little bit of extra fluff. So cut that out, get to the ask, get really clear on what it is and how much and what you're going to do with that money. So I think you've got a bit more you can shout about think about the 3 points of your story. So the pain that you had from your personal journey, that was really strong in your first. I felt you diluted that a bit by trying to cover off too much at the beginning. So your origin story, the reason this is alive, the amazing traction, have that story arc come through, and then really talk about this is how much we want and this is what we're going to do with that investment. Come talk to me. Okay, be really strong and confident in that. You've got something powerful here. And yeah, practice, 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 keep it to the minute. Are you clear on what you need to do next?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, amazing. Well done. Thanks for taking the stage. All right, do we have Chiara in the audience? Is Chiara with us? If she is, please come up to the stage.
Yeah.
Chiara, you're there. Wonderful. Okay, let me reset the clock. The floor's yours. Go for it.
How many of you work in a remote or a hybrid team setting? We've all been doing that for years, but let's face it, building a team is hard. Productivity is often low, turnover is high, and we really feel disconnected. We can try drinks over Zoom, we can play random games online, but those don't really build a team. My name is Chiara, and I'm the founder of Team Camp. We're solving this issue by creating fun, interactive games that help teams connect, communicate, and build trust. And we use a unique blend of games, AI, and behavioral science. Our MVP was a huge success with over 85% users who highlighted that it was fun to play. We've been bootstrapped so far with a small but passionate team of 5. We are launching the beta this month. We have over 500 people on the waiting list, and we're fundraising £500,000 pre-seed with already 2 soft commitments from investors. So this is the time to come on board before we close the round at Team Camp.
Okay, amazing. You went over just a couple of seconds there. I really wanted to hear the rest of your pitch, so I let it run, but I could tell you were wrapping up. What I would say is that you've got a lovely story there that you sort of bring everyone into by having that hook at the beginning about, the way we smart work right now. However, I feel that you've maybe been practicing that at the 1 minute pitch practices where you've talked to a room of other founders, other people in jobs. And when you're talking to investors, maybe they're working in jobs, maybe not. So have that hook that makes them feel it, that makes them really say, absolutely, that opportunity is there. So I feel like you might want to rework that a little bit to be speaking to those investors about the exciting opportunity, because right now it sounds like you're talking to your peers rather than to your investors with that beginning. Would you agree on that?
I totally understand that now. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe you're rephrasing more on the productivity, maybe, or on the turnover, maybe being a team leader there. Okay.
Yeah. Could be something there. So have a play with that hook at the beginning. It could be still the hook is what you did wasn't wrong. It was just felt like it was addressing the wrong audience. So you just got to play with it a little bit so that you're really getting the investors to see this opportunity. Because is it about getting everybody to raise their hands, or is it about getting the investors to lean in? So that's what I would just sense check when you're going through your pitches. The other part that I thought you did really well was that you started to talk about that what you've done in terms of fundraising already, that this is the opportunity to get in now. I think that was really strong at the end. So your finish was really good, but I think it's the front end that you just need to rethink. The middle section, if you could be more memorable in sort of why Team Camp is the answer to this problem. So what's that unique factor that you want the investors to walk away with? Can you say what's the memorable piece you want them to understand?
that is not the same of any other solution they can find on the market because it's tailored to a team.
Okay. Okay. So then if that's the message you want to get across, make sure that you've tailored it to a team. Is there some USP that you can, it's tailored uniquely to a team? How? It's tailored uniquely to a team to do what? So try and just get that extra line of that so what that makes them go, okay, that's different. That's exciting. And then talk about your traction. So just play on that a little bit more, Chiara. And I think you're going to have a much stronger pitch.
Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right,
Carol.
you're very welcome. Do we have Abdul in the room? Abdul, are you with us? If not, do we have Alejandro? Alejandro, are you there? Come on up if you are.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Yes, okay, perfect. Let me just stop the clock. Okay, I've reset. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Okay. So, how did we get a government to offer us to screen 50,000 students for ADHD just using Google Forms? Well, because schools are overwhelmed, pressured by parents and new regulations. ADHD is everywhere with adult diagnosis soaring. So why do we keep missing so many kids? At Cognifant, we are here to fix that. With our AI platform, we can detect ADHD in under 30 seconds, and we also train teachers on how to support their students effectively. We turned down the 50,000 student pilot to start small, focusing in 4 underserved schools, and the results were outstanding and earned us a QS Reimagine Education Award. We have evolved from Google Forms to a proper, fully scalable platform developed by biomedical engineers, neuropsychologists, and data scientists. And with 2 ongoing pilots in Colombia and Mexico, we're looking to raise 200K to expand from London to ensure every kid grows up without thinking that they are broken.
Okay, wow. Okay, you only went 3 seconds. And that 3 seconds was very, very slight. I mean, you were pretty much bang on. You did a great job. I can tell you've worked really hard on this pitch. I mean, the transformation from where you were to where you are now is huge. So I think you've done a lot of work there. I want to say that it was really clear. Your ask was clear. You were absolutely on point about your traction and where you're going and the kind of who you're working with and where. So I felt like you've done a really good job. If there's some, is there something that I would add? I mean, let's talk about award winning. That was great. I was kind of waiting for you got some amazing results and you're award winning. It's like rather than say I have amazing results, what was that amazing result? Like, is there a stat? Is there a kind of number that helped you win that award, which I'm sure there was, that could help make that pitch even stronger? And so
instead of mentioning the word, saying like a metric that can be like shocking, something like that.
yeah. Well, still mention the award, but it's like you were saying, we've got some amazing results and we've become award winning. It's like I would imagine instead of saying amazing result in those 3 words, you could be saying what that amazing stat is, because saying it is like a claim. And this is for all of you. It's like rather than proving it. So if you have an amazing stat that's helped you win that award, don't shy away from it. Use it. I think that could be strong. What was it that helped you win that award?
I feel it's the fact that we were working with underserved schools. So the fact that we could, let's say, run an entire program with very few resources.
Okay. I think that came out and it was pretty clear in your earlier part of your pitch. You actually sort of said how you'd gone from Google Forms to like scaling up. So that was really powerful. I just think perhaps you've got these amazing results. Maybe it's a reinforcement of that to help it be memorable. So if there's a way that you can just capture that really succinctly, if not, you did a great job. I mean, that was a really strong pitch. So I'm really picking now to try and just see if there's something you could pull out to get that wow factor, because you're clearly doing great. So you've got this, Alejandro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. All right. Next up to the floor. Do we have Che? Is Che in the room?
I am.
Yes, awesome. Okay, Che, great to meet you. I've got you black though. I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Okay, right. You're with us. Let me just restart the clock and go for it. The floor's yours.
Okay. Relying on email for document storage and identity is becoming a real problem. With the growing security risks and ongoing misuse of personal data, email is simply not built for a future of digital transaction. Even market leader DocuSign is losing ground. With innovation slowed, consumers are price sensitive. Yet the digital signature market is projected to reach 70 billion by 2030. That growth, however, hinges on solving one of the sector's biggest challenges, the need for in-person signature and notarization. At Go to Glory, we believe we built the answer. Our B2B blockchain platform, powered by NFT token access, securely verifies participants and automates the execution of sensitive transactions, from signing to storage. What really sets us apart is our proprietary system trademarked G-Grade. It checks and verifies every digital wallet in the deal, assigns a trust score based on blockchain history, and applies identity checks and transaction rules before anything goes through. This means every deal is safe, verified, and eligible to be insured.
That's it, Jay. You're up to your minute. Okay, so the reason that that's important that I stopped you there is because I knew you were about to wrap up with your ask. So the first 30 seconds you really used to talk about the opportunity and the problem in the market. That shouldn't be 30 whole seconds. That needs to be about 10. So really make sure that you're giving yourself time to, yes, talk about the problem in the market that you're primed to solve, but then spend more time on really talking about how Go to Glory, what a brilliant name, really stands out, can actually allow you to be the perfect people to make that opportunity a reality right now. I had some notes from your original pitch to get into demo day, and I had things like a decade at Nike, innovator visa, confirmed market potential. For me, that stood out a mile, and you lost that in this particular pitch. I didn't come through. So go back to things that make you memorable and the person to bet on. Because as you know, at this early stage with ideas, the ideas are exciting, but really they're backing you. So at this point, you know, you can talk a lot about the opportunity, why you're right for it, and then getting them to invest. Have you got clear ask, which I think you had, we just didn't allow you to get to it. So making sure that you give it time, because you've got such a great credibility score. It's about really showing that you give that the time it needs and the ask the time it needs. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Okay, amazing. Well, thanks for taking the floor. All right, I'm going to just run through if any latecomers came in. If you haven't been and you think you should have been, can you use the raise hand feature so I can come to you? Otherwise, I'm just going to be running through my list here. Is Margaret in the room, or Alexander, Jordan, Carolina, Steve, Manny, or Abdul? If not, have I got Hamidi in the room, or Nancy?
Carolina.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello. Hamidi's in the room. I can hear you now. I can see you. Awesome. All right, Hamidi, let's do this. I'm going to just reset my clock and let's go for it. The floor is yours.
Perfect. My name is Hamidi. I'm AI and robotic engineer. I will create innovation platform for businesses and also create reference from small stores. And I will believe intelligence should feel human and technology should work for us, not around us. Did you know when next leap in robotic and AI, it just need to making machines smarter, to building machines that can think or learn, adapt on living beings. Here is the problem. Most of AI systems today are too rigid. It means they can process data, but they can truly understand your context, emotions, or intent. Which means in dynamic world, real world like us, the situation very fell short. At Mimic Sense, we changed that. We created the first virtual brain with AI-powered framework that can function like a human brain inside a robot, avatars, and autonomous agent. In practical terms, it means we are just not a software. We are a plug-and-play cognitive platform.
Okay, Hamidi, that's it. Minute's up. All right. I would say that you can see you really worked on this. So I want to be as constructive as I can. First 30 seconds, I think you could lose it. And you really started to talk about your business at the 30-second mark. So we want to get into what Mimic Sense is. I need to understand, yes, the kind of market that you were talking about and the problem, but it took so long to get to who you are and what is your business that you were losing the attention of the people in the room. So bring that up front. Like, let's get to who you are, the problem that you solve. Let's make that really clear from the beginning. And then, so that hook at the beginning is really what you need to work on. And so whether that's presenting you or the business, or whether you have, like some of the other people here today, have a bit of a story or a bit of a question to pull people in, that really needs to be strong. And actually reduce. You got to have 3 things. Right now, you got about 50, and that's going to make us hard to remember you and what you're offering. So although you have such a lot to share and a lot to offer, it's really about being clear on the 3 things you want them to remember. So what are the 3 things that you want these investors to walk away knowing?
The first one is about we are some full bootstrap solution. This is the first one. The second one, we have already our products on the market and use it by some of our customers. And the last one is about it is something really interesting if we can have some partner in UK to expand and to help us to develop intermediate product by keeping our main vision to realize. So these are the 3 things.
Okay. All right. So they're quite big things. Remind me your first one again.
Yeah.
The first one again. What was your first?
First one, the first one is about we have a bootstrap solution today.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, right. Be really clear. Bootstrap solution. Okay, number 1. Number 2.
For number 2, today we have our solution is current on the market, and we have current users.
Okay, current users. All right. So don't worry too much about making it complicated. So bootstrapped, current users. Like, let's talk about these key points. And the third thing.
First thing, now we are looking for some partner to help us to more work.
Yes. Okay, that's awesome. Now, when you're asking for a partner, that talks about a roadmap. That's you saying, I've got a vision for where this is going and I need a strategic partner. Potentially, you need some funding behind you to be able to keep everything else ticking over, I imagine. So you can really dedicate time to negotiating and securing that strategic partner. Maybe you've already got some traction in there. So really think about how you articulate that story in a short, succinct way. So the fact that you're bootstrapped, how much money have you invested so far? How long have you been running? Get these key data points in. Then you're going to get to the next part where you're going to be talking about the fact that you are, how much money you're going to be asking for, like what is it? Because you want to achieve your vision of getting that strategic partner. So really think about blocking in those key points, Hamady. You're doing good, but take away all the other detail. It's too much. You got to get in these 3 points and you're going to do great. Is that okay for you today? All right. Let's see. 2 hands up. Manny. Okay, you were definitely on my list. Let's have you back in the room. What's your question, Manny?
Oh, I thought we can go again.
You can go again. Have I had Ellen just before I let you run again? Ellen, have you been? Do you want Able Bees? I think you came in first pitch round, right?
Yeah, I was in the first pitch round. I just wanted to try it slightly
Sure.
different.
All right. We got time. So I'm going to let Manny go first and then I'll come to you if that's cool. All right, Manny, go for it. I'm going to start the clock. Start the clock. Go.
At Bren, we're tackling a constantly overlooked problem. Team misalignment, low engagement, and losing employees to poor retention and quiet quitting. These problems quietly cost businesses billions each year in lost productivity. The workplace has evolved, but team building hasn't really evolved much past static one-off team building exercises. That's why we've created the brain-to-brain intelligence. BBI is an intelligence layer that combines cognitive neuroscience and AI to deeply understand how your teams think, collaborate, and communicate. BBI provides real-time insights via APIs of your current tools, helping to form cognitively aligned, agile teams that are 35% more productive per dollar per hour. We've already raised 50K this year out of our 300K target. We've had a successful pilot of BBI and we're launching this June. Let's finally make teamwork work.
Okay, Manny, that's up for your time. So what I would say is I'm having to cut you off. So that's the point where we need to reduce it down a little bit so that you got that real good, strong finish. But what I would say is that I can tell that you have really practiced this. You have really started to work on making that memorability come through. BBI came through a lot. I was really trying to stick that in my brain. And also that brain to brain. That was really nice. So you had some really interesting points that came through that were memorable. So well done on that memorability. I think we need to up a little bit. You know, obviously the ask, you've got to have time for that at the end, and that needs to be really clear. So let's try and reduce and tighten up that beginning part. I feel like you need a bit of a stronger hook at the beginning to get them excited and lean in. So if you could really work on that hook at the beginning and then focus on you're doing well in terms of your traction. I know from my notes you have two European companies.
I need to do it. Can you count?
Oh, sorry, I had somebody else coming through on the line. Goes, guys, everyone else mute, or I'll try and mute you. Yeah, great. So make sure that you, I'm sorry, I've lost train of thought. But the point is, you're going to have 3 things that you want them to take away. Let's hook them in early, get that really strong. So reduce the amount you're saying there. And then let's talk about that credibility. Let's talk about the tractions that you've got, the markets you're going into. And then let's talk about the vision, where you're going, how much you're asking for, have time for that ask. Is that okay?
Okay. Sounds good. That sounds good.
Awesome. Let's go for it, Ellen. I'm going to reset the clock and go for it. Floor's yours.
We are living in the creator economy, which is expected to grow to $500 billion by 2030, with over 100 million content creators worldwide. Yet, less than 5% of them earn enough to make a living from their work. Ablebees gives creators a way to earn by making content their fans specifically request and are willing to pay for. Ablebees brings fans who want the same content together, allowing creators know how many people want them to make particular content and how much in total they are willing to pay for it. I'm Ellen, the founder of Ablebees. We have bootstrapped building MVP and onboarding more than 500 users, including 27 creators. Now we are looking for $600,000 to accelerate the creator acquisition process. If you are interested, let's talk. Thank you.
Okay, just 50 seconds on the clock there. You've got some more time. So I would say that you could really use that extra time to be a bit more clear. Ablebees came through so many times. That name is burned on my brain. So well done for memorability on that. That's great. I'd also say that you had a good pace in the way that you spoke. That was great. You probably could use the power of the pause a little bit more, just to let some of those key pieces of information land and give that time to sort of digest and sort of hold the stage a little bit more, because you kind of you didn't go too rapid, but it's almost kind of, it just kept going. So just give yourself the power of the pause a little. One of the things at the end, just repeat for me your ask at the end.
So the last paragraph is, I'm Ellen, the founder of Ablebees. So we have bootstrapped, building MVP and onboarding more than 500 users, including 27 creators.
Yeah, that's your traction. Sorry, just the last part where you go to the
now
ask
we're
of how much
looking
money.
for $600,000 to accelerate the creator acquisition process. If
Yeah.
you are interested, let's talk.
Yeah, I'm going to play that back to you. We're looking for 600,000 to accelerate the acquisition of creators. Does that sound like it's going to bring in money? I don't think it does. It sounds like it's going to show a lot of growth, but how is that going to turn into revenue? How's that going to turn into it's having more people doesn't necessarily mean more revenue in the business. It's like, how are you getting that scale into money that's coming through? So I'm thinking about your model, really start to say that, by generating, increasing our customer acquisition, we then predict, or we see that that's going to then convert based on what's giving you those indicators of how quick you've gone from acquisition through to revenue. And so if you can speed that up, imagine how much revenue we could make. So just make that a stronger case at the end if you can, or start to think about what are the ways that they can start to understand how that generation of more people, what that's going to mean to that ROI.
Right. Okay. I need to think about it, because it's not that
take some
obvious
time.
what
Yeah,
connection
it's not
between
so
the number of.
It's tricky, but it's just to know that if you leave it something like, yeah, we're going to grow, it can make them feel like, but what does that actually mean? So just find a way to pull that back. And I think it's going to be much stronger, Ellen, but you're on the right track. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Does anybody else, we have probably a few seconds left. Does anyone else have a question with relation to their pitch, or is everybody just ready to come back again next Friday and pitch again? I hope you all are. I really appreciate everyone being here today. There will be a recording. Do put your hand up if you have got a question for me. But otherwise, I'll bid you adieu and thank you all for coming. And I'll see you next time.
Are there spaces next week to come back again?
There is a wait list for going into having a practice. So if anyone like today doesn't show up and you're on that list of watch and you want to come in, just like Ellen did today, and Manny, you can jump in the hot seat. So take that opportunity.
Great, thank you.
All right. All right, guys, go have a great weekend. Thanks so much. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.